Hello, and good day to each and every one of you. Can you hear me all right? Do I sound fine? Thank you all very much for coming today. Hello there, you wayward children. Welcome. This is the Church of the Wise Worm. Yes, this is the Church of the Wise Worm. Welcome. And today we will be having a confession reading stream with the confessions box that I let Skye Shinyu hand out to you all about the beginning of the week, I believe. Yes. So, first and foremost, before we begin, I would like to clarify some things regarding the confession readings today. Yes. So, while we have had, what are they called? Moderators, as well as Skye herself, proof check. Well, Skye herself did not read most of them. We had the mods mostly proof check and remove any, how you would say, particularly intense confessions. There were some that Skye herself was consulted about. Now, there are a handful of these, and these particular confessions were brought to Skye's attention due to the nature of the confession itself. Now, she also handed it to me for checking, and I must say, while I do truly feel for these individuals, this is not exactly, I believe, the place to be sharing it, as this is a group confession reading, if you will. So I do believe that the necessary privacy, time, and place is needed for these particular matters. They are quite indeed heavy and dark topics. I apologize that we will not be reading them out today. However, do know that my heart goes out to those afflicted by their guilt. Now, I would also like to state that, how do you say, these in particular were not willy-nilly removed, so do not worry. They will not be read. However, do know that I believe I'm not exactly qualified to provide. I do not believe. I believe judgment. Yes. We are not judging people here today too hard, but I do not believe I'm qualified for these topics, so I apologize again. Yes. It is to be expected, given the nature of this activity today. I believe Skye is putting it up on a stream, if I remember correctly. Yes. So please do keep that in mind. But I do thank you for reaching out, and please do know that there is someone out there thinking of you. That would be me and Skye. Yes. All right. Now, we do have quite a few submissions today, which we will be reading through. There's still a lot. And after that activity, we will be raiding into Skye's cover of, I believe it is called Mage of Violet. Unlike other groups, the Church of the Wise Worm does promote witchcraft. So please do stay with us until the end, so that we may partake in the witchy activities. Yes. Now, let's see. Now, please, everyone, please no need to go and say sheesh or feel particularly, what's the word, affronted by these submissions. It is a free space, after all, and given the guidelines, it is understandable that people want to share these. And I do not think badly of them, not at all, okay? So please do be understanding about the people who have tried to reach out. Sometimes it is difficult, and oftentimes people may feel that they have no place to send in these woes or talk to them with anyone. I apologize again, but I do believe that given the right time and place, there will be somebody who can offer the advice to you. Yes. Okay, now I suppose it's time we begin. 1 minute. What is this called? The chat? What should we say when we are in awe of the contents of the submission to the dear sister? That is a very good question. Exclamations of astonishment. I believe that the old term is... actually, no, I do not believe the old term is hark. But any old-timey sounding exclamations are more than welcome on today's stream. Yes. Now, let me go through the submissions, and I will be pasting them into the text box below so that we may all see it. Don't worry, I will zoom in so that everyone can see it. Allow me to make it larger, though. There we go. That is better. Okay. Now, for our first submission for today, we have here... 1 moment, please. Oh, well then. I suppose there's no text wrapping. That is a bit unfortunate. Allow me to, edit this. Oh, 1 second, please. This nun is not very technologically, what's the word? Technologically competent. Oh dear. Anyway, today's confession. Yes, not tech savvy, thank you. Dear Sister Shinryu, I have spent a truckload amount of money on video games, especially on skins in a certain FPS game which starts with a V and ends with a T. I have also completely ignored my mother's advice to not spend any money on those useless games. Will my wrongdoings be forgiven, dear sister? My goodness, we have received a confession of the highest offense, disobeying your mother. How could you? Your mother should... your mother would not be proud of you in this situation. However, forgiveness is not lost upon ye, O child. Now, if you wish to achieve forgiveness, receive forgiveness from me, from the Great Worm, and from your mother, I would highly recommend repenting by not spending anything at all on this game that starts with a V and ends with a T. Ignoring mother advice, yes, that's a bad thing. Yes, it is indeed a big no-no. Now remember, we must treat the wisdom of our elders with great respect. Please do not forget this. It's very important. Now, we need not add any harsh terms or throw any bricks to the sinners. Now, if they truly are regretful of their actions, their feelings of guilt and actions of repentance are more than enough. Understood? No bricks, only hark, yes. Unless we happen to find an extremely great affront. Now, this may be a very, how do you say, a great offense to their mother. It is not one of the greatest offenses I have seen. But please do keep in mind, your mother is not only providing this advice just to scold you, but also to ensure that you have enough money to get by. Please, I understand there's beauty in the digital world, but remember there are many great things that you must also save for the real world itself. Yes. Now, I do believe that is enough for this confession. I do hope that you decide to repent in order to earn your forgiveness. Now, on to the next submission. Oh, please do note that I and Skye have not seen majority of these, so majority of these confessions will be a surprise, to say the least. Now, perhaps I should actually put this into another program in order to text wrap it. All right, 1 moment, please. Ahem. All right, I am working on it. And enter. Okay, copy and paste. Unfortunately, the the members, the sisters of the wise worm aren't exactly educated on technology, as we are rather recluse. But I digress. Anyway, so for the next confession, it reads, one day when I was 7 or 8, my grandpa took me to McDonald's after school. I ate my food and ran around the play structure for a while, so I got hungry again. I saw some chicken nuggets on the ground, made sure no one was looking, and threw the chicken nuggets into my mouth. But I think it gave me insane immune resistance. I only get sick once or twice a year. Nonetheless, it feels like a sin. Forgive me, Sister Skye. In fairness, you were but a child when this had occurred, and children are indeed innocent. They are not wary of the ways of the world. However, it is not exactly right to take... Actually, can this be considered someone else's chicken nuggets? I'm not entirely sure, since they were on the ground. I believe this is more of an affront to oneself, allowing oneself to eat food off of the floor. However, since you do feel guilty about it, you are forgiven for your sin, child. Fret not. This is a long gone sin of the past. You are fine. Finders keepers, or so they say. I suppose this can apply in this situation. Yes, and I suppose it is a nice thing that your immune system has been greatly boosted by this chicken nuggets. Perhaps I should send this information to the other sisters of the wise worm. Although the wise, our patron deity, the wise worm themselves, are very powerful, the sisters of the wise worm tend to fall into unfortunate situations, to say the least. Yes. Yeah, that's more danger than to oneself. I agree. But again, you are forgiven. Can we still pass our confessions? Unfortunately, the confessions box has already been closed. Deep apologies. It has been closed 2 hours before the stream. And who is this? 1 second. Lou? Am I reading this right? Lou, thank you very much for the 2-month membership. What did Skye call this? A flex, I believe. Hi, Skye. Hello there, my child. I am Sister Shinryu. It is a pleasure to meet you. Wish I could make in a post. Was hunting. Decided to talk to my dog through the camera, and she started howling, worried as hell where I was, poor girl. Oh dear, please do give your dog some comforting pats when you come back to them. Unless you are already with them, then please, go ahead. Alright, now, I believe that is it for this confession. We do need to be mindful that we are on a time limit for today's confessions. But if there is extra time, I will allow for an open forum at the end of this reading. Yes. Now, on to the next confession. Allow me to... Oh, this is just one line of text. All right. Now let us paste it in. We have here... Oh dear. Today's confession. I have committed the sin of cringe posting over 1,000 times this past month. Is there any hope for my soul? Now, I do believe that this is very subjective. What kinds of cringe posting have you partaken in exactly? Now, I, for one, am rather lenient when it comes to cringe posting. But if it is particularly, how the kids say, lame, then I'm not sure if my judgment will be as kind. But it is true, we are all a little bit of cringe inside. It is normal to feel a bit of, how do you say, regret after certain kinds of things have been said, but one must accept one's cringe in order to truly grow. I believe. Yes. So there is hope for your soul if either you decide to own it and fully commit to the bit, or if you decide to omit entirely your cringe posting. Yes. Okay, real question is, why do you count your cringe? Yes, indeed. Are you counting the sins on your back, the weight of the sins on your back, child? Now, I do not believe that is very productive. You must make your stance. Oh dear. No, I appreciate if everyone could keep their phones on silent or on vibrate while they are within the Church of the Wise Worm. That same goes for me. Apologies. Now, let's see. Let's move on to the next submission. I believe we have reached a consensus on this. Yes. Now, moving on. By the way, while I would appreciate if you could stay and be awake for this, I understand if this stream is particularly calming. The Wise Worm also promotes healthy sleep for every individual who decides to follow their path. Now, feel free to fall asleep if you feel the need to. Yes. Ahem. Hark, cringe. Yes, hark, cringe. They have been cringe posting, but at least you are well trained and well versed in the world of cringe posting. Perhaps that may become a useful skill to you in the future. There is no useless skill. Now, let us move on to the next submission. Let's see. Let me edit this so that it properly appears on the software. All right. Let me paste this now. Ahem. The next confession reads, so in the late 90s, I used to date this nice young lady, but as time went on, we went our separate ways. I found her on social media a couple of years ago, and we talked about old times. As it turns out, she had a kid that she thought was mine, who was a daughter, who is now grown, who is a VTuber, who is named Skye. Sorry to do this. Oh dear, are you repenting for sharing your history? Why, that is quite exciting. Who is this Skye exactly? I don't believe it could be Skye Shinyu, possibly. Is she not over 2,000 years old? She's almost as old as our patron deity as well. Oh my. But if it is the father of said Skye Shinyu, I simply must relay this information to her. Now, I do hope you're open to discussing with her. If you are, how do you say, open to having a talk with your child. Yes. Now, it would be unfortunate if you went out to go get the milk in response to this invitation, but I will discuss this with Skye Shinyu. I'm sure she would be elated to find somebody who is potentially her father in the human world, despite having parents in her original world. But yes, child support super chats. I do believe is in order. if you have missed many years of being in her life. However, it is not stated whether or not they have been confirmed to be the father. But regardless, if you would like to be part of this woman's life, it would be good to talk to them. Yes. Yes. Now, since you are apologizing, you are forgiven for your sin, whatever it may be. But do take the time to spend the time and rebuild what could have been. Yes. All right. Now, how do you find out who the father is? A milk test? I suppose so. I'm not exactly sure how this works, how DNA tests work, so perhaps a milk test is in order. Again, I am simply a recluse nun of the wise worm, so I am not very educated about the ways of the world, yes. All right, now, let us move on to the next confession. Oh, I do believe I stated this in the form, or Skye has stated this in the form herself, but the identities of the confessors are kept private. So don't worry, the only ones who know are Skye, myself, and the moderators who have checked through the submissions. So thank you again. Let's see. Now, next one, we shall copy and paste this. All right. There we go. Copy and paste. The next confession reads, Dear sister, I have a confession to make that riddles me with guilt every time I do it. Sometimes I put my Steam or Discord status as invisible so I can play games alone, even though the games I play usually I play them with friends. Even though sometimes they're playing too at the moment, I decide to go invisible and play alone. Please, have mercy on my soul. Now, child, I believe that there is no sin in the words that you share with us today. I believe that there is no sin at all. I believe that the teachings of the wise worm, who is also a bit of a recluse, you are not obligated. It is not your responsibility to owe all of your free time to others. You owe free time to yourself as well. And it is entirely understandable if you want to play games alone, even if the others are online. Just make sure that you don't get caught so that you end up in an awkward situation as to they ask you, why aren't you playing with us? Just keep in mind, yes, make sure that you are stealthy about it. And was this submission written by Skye by any chance? It does feel like something Skye would say. I have communicated with her a bit, and she is also always offline. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is the same case for her as well. If he put to do not disturb mode, though, he'd be bricked for his heresy. I personally believe that they are the same thing. But yes, no sin whatsoever. You are completely fine. Let's see. But of course, everything in moderation. I'm pretty sure that you also make time for your friends, yes? Just remember, everything in moderation. Now, I believe that is it for this submission. Now let us move on to the next one. Thank you again for your confession, child. Now, let's see. Let us copy paste. Oh my. What is this? All right, I have to, again, fix this. Oh dear. This is rather interesting. The next confession reads, I have committed the cardinal sin of having impure thoughts of a certain leader of a PMC about the things she has posted on social media. I know she doesn't want to be the target of such things, but dear sister, I am but a simple man. I say booba, I go unga bunga, return to monkey badonka, monka badonka. Please, dear sister, cleanse my soul, free me from these sinful thoughts and deliver me to bliss. P.S. This is all fun and games, right? Oh dear, what leader of PMC is this? My. Well, again, as you have said, it is but human to feel certain ways, and you are not at fault for feeling these ways. What matters is how you carry yourself, about your peers and about this leader of your PMC. Yes. Now, no need for sprays or bonks. They understand the weight of the situation. I believe that is far more than enough. Now, as for your sinful thoughts, remember, there is a greater cause that your PMC serves. Now, whatever your leader may be posting on social media may or may not be exactly part of the goal of the PMC. PMC does stand for Private Military Company, yes. I do believe that you're all united under one banner, like we, the Sisters of the Wise Worm, are united in order to bring peace and harmony to the people and share the wisdom of our great worm. Um, just remember the greater purpose that you serve, whatever it is that may be. Now, perhaps it is simply to fulfill the orders of your leader, or to perhaps build camaraderie. Whatever it is that it may be, I'm sure that you will serve your goal well. Yes, and if it so happens that the social media is a part of it, then I suppose by all means, continue as you are. Just make sure that you are acting wise. Yes, do not be caught acting unwise. Now, the Church of the Wise Worm, as the name suggests, does not promote unwise behavior. Yes, it does not. So remember, my children, the great worm is always watching. Sister, do we also support the worship Booba in this house? Booba? Do you refer to the birds of the boobies? I believe they're called the blue-footed boobies. They are truly elegant and very cute creatures. We love a good pair of boobies in here, yes. Very, very round, very soft-looking. And yes, I do believe that they're not exactly the worshipped one here. It is the wise worm, but they are more than welcome in this abode, yes, in the home of the wise worm. Now, let us move on to the next confession. Thank you very much again for this, for sharing your woes. Now let's see. Oh my. This next confession reads, your voice, sister. I crave for more of it, be it aroused or casual. That is quite flattering. Thank you very much. I appreciate that you like my voice this much. It is true that I do tend to get quite roused when it comes to dedicating myself to the wise worm. I sing praises for the wise worm very loud, very clear. I let it ring throughout the halls and throughout the rooms. Certainly, yes. But even for casual talk, why? I appreciate that very much. Oh dear, apologies. I accidentally knocked into the equipment. Now, I am not exactly sure if you are confessing to a sin. Is your sin here the gluttony, the greed, yearning for more of my voice? Well, I am happy to talk to you. If it so happens that it reaches a point that it becomes a bit how do you say, invasive? if your desires become a bit invasive into your mind, my child, then please feel free to come by and repent anytime. Perhaps this may need a bit more of a forceful repentance. I do believe that the father, I believe he is called. Father, what was his surname? Orc? Father Orc? Yes, Father Orc. Yes, I believe Father Orc will be able to help you with this. Now, thank you for your confession. I appreciate it, but remember, please do continue to act wise. Yes. Now, let us move on to the next confession. Let's see. This one is also rather short. This next one. Today's confession reads, I want to be comforted by someone for just a moment. Things have been hard for me, sister. Please let me stay. But of course, you are always welcome here. It is true that the world is full of much strife, many trials and tribulations, but there we can always find respite somewhere. Sometimes it may need to be somewhere far away from everything else, or perhaps it's a little nook or cranny that you happen to find somewhere in your day-to-day life. And let's see, you are welcome here to take respite, and you are free from judgment. We are here to help those who feel their senses of guilt for their actions. Yes, 'tis not of sin, but a place of comfort. Yes, this is indeed a place of comfort. Also, now, it is true that dealing with guilt can be very uncomfortable, and it is very difficult at times to face it head on. And the nature of guilt is one that is very persistent, very sticky, if you will. It will take time to overcome these things, and there will always be new things that come by to weigh you down, to be an obstacle, if you will. But I do believe in the tenacity and hope of the human race, and the race of worms. Yes, it is human nature, I believe, to continue to fight, even if it is for a cause that may be hopeless. Because even if you may feel hopeless, there will always be that one tiny sliver of hope, even if you may not realize it, sitting somewhere in your heart. And I do believe that you continue to hold on to that. Yes. Now, yes, average unmatched power of the human spirit enjoyer. Yes, but of course, the indomitable human spirit versus the cold uncaringness of the universe. It is true that the world is a big place and we are all but a speck in it. But that should not be a deterrent for us to continue to fight the good fight. Yes? Now, because if no one's going to fight, nothing's going to happen, yes? So I think it is completely reasonable to continue to hope. It may hurt to hope sometimes and then lose hope. But what else do we have but our hope, yes? Now, I believe that is it for this confession. Again, you are welcome to take respite here. Always, always. Let us move on to the next confession. A lot of these seem to be rather short. I am a bit surprised so far. Now, this next one. This confession reads, I like it when I go to the toilet and the seat is still warm. It's like the previous person isn't directly spooning me in support as I'm blowing chunks. Well, I am glad that you find comfort in the most unique of places. I am happy to know that you find comfort in knowing that someone was there before you in their own struggles, perhaps. You never know what they had been going through upon that seat as well. Perhaps they were blowing chunks as well. Take that to heart, knowing that you are not alone in what it is that you suffered. Yes. Apologies. I do not mean to laugh at your situation. Are you confessing guilt for this? Do you feel guilty? It sounds like you like. Is this a guilty pleasure of yours, my child? Well, I do believe that even if people are not there, the traces that they leave behind for us are certainly things that we can lean on. Perhaps quite literally in this situation. Yes. You are forgiven for your sin, I suppose. Just make sure that you pass along you pass it along. You share the gift of that same warmth to the next person. Keep that seat warm for them, okay? Yes, keep it very nice and warm. That I think hopefully that they'll be able to appreciate the same the same things that you have. Yes. All right. Now, thank you again for your confession. Let us move on to the next one. Now, this next one is slightly longer. Let me edit it before we paste it in. Now, where is it? Enter, 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 and enter. All right, I think this should be good. Now, let's paste this in. The next confession reads, there was a girl in high school who obviously had a crush on me. And to be honest, I kind of liked the attention because I wasn't really the most popular person. Apologies. Excuse me. Apologies. Oh dear. Oh no. I must repent for this transgression against the wise worm. These hiccups, they tend to plague me quite a bit, unfortunately. I kind of like the attention because I really wasn't the most popular person. Now, I didn't understand at the time, but I'm kind of aro ace, which means aromantic asexual. I never directly acknowledged the fact that the girl was interested in me because I literally had no idea whether I was interested in starting a relationship or not. I see. To be fair, in your defense, again, you did not know of this until, later on in life, yes? So I do believe that you are not at fault and you are not, this is not a sin. And it is not a sin either to be aromantic or asexual. It is simply a state of being, and you should not be faulted or feel guilty for it. So I see nothing that you have to repent for. The only situation where I think that you would need to repent is if you were leading them on for anything in particular. It is not stated specifically, because I do believe that while you can enjoy someone's attention, if you continue to, how do you say, lead them on with false promises or certain comments, that is not very nice. But yes, I do believe that is the only situation where you would need to repent. But again, if you just simply weren't aware, that is completely fine. You are not at fault. Yes. The hicks are but a blessing. Oh, I don't know about that. They do tend to disrupt the prayer sessions for the Great Worm. However, maybe it is a blessing from the Great Worm themselves. I shall have to consult this with Father Orc later. Yes. Worry not, Sister Skye. It adds to your holiness and charm. Why, thank you, but I do believe the only one who can deem the holiness is the Great Worm themselves. But I appreciate the thought. Thank you. Let's see. Now, what is the next confession that we have? Thank you again for your confession. I appreciate that everyone comes in to share their thoughts and feelings. Let's see. Copy and paste. Oh dear. Today's confession reads, I bought ropes to practice shibari and practiced on a pillow to make a rope suit. YouTube tutorials are useful. I do not see the pursuit of knowledge as something sinful. I have no idea what this shibari thing is or what a rope suit is exactly, but it sounds like a type of armor. Oh, you must be creating some armor for your comrades, yes? I believe that majority of you work under this PMC that you mentioned, right? And well, whatever this rope armor may be, if you're pursuing this knowledge in hopes of aiding your fellow soldiers, I think that's a wonderful thing. Perhaps you should bring this up to your leader and how do you say, show it to them? Yes. Perhaps don the rope suit yourself and see how effective it is in battle. Yes. Hang him up on the ACS. Hanging up? Oh, perhaps this could also be a useful form of transportation as well. Isn't it quite difficult to transport many soldiers at once? Perhaps having them all tied up in a rope suit might help. Indeed. I do believe that is a very good idea. My, all of these soldiers from the PMC are very smart. That is quite interesting. All right. Now, if you see this as a sin, I don't see this as a sin. I believe it is perfectly fine. And I applaud you for your pursuit of knowledge and for the betterment of your fellow soldier. Yes. Thank you for doing the hard work of protecting these lands. Yes. Now, thank you for your confession. Let us move on to the next one, shall we? Yes. Let's see. This is a very, 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 very long confession. Okay. How am I supposed to sort this out? I believe this might be easier if I screenshot this one. Yes. All right. You are going to be hearing the sound effect for the computer, I believe. So please bear with this for a minute. All right. Now, screenshotting right now. Let me paste this in. Also, let's hide this. Paste, set it to, oh dear, multiply. I'm sorry for flashbanging all of you. Ahem. Now, let me read this out to you. It is quite long. Now, let us gather and listen to the woes of this wayward child. Forgive me, sister, for I have sinned. My sin is that of immense and overpowering lust, spurred on by television shows and video games I used to watch and play as a child, combined with the powder keg that is a conservative religious upbringing, stifling my growth until it manifested into the debauchery I list before you. Temptress ladies clad in scandalous outfits brought forth in me perverse interests and fascinations that are considered far outside the realm of the usual holy trinity of normal interests. Oh, I believe I know what that is. Which, as I'm sure one so holy as yourself knows, is tatas, thighs, and tushes. Everything from the sole of a woman's foot to leotards with button-link cuffs, collars, and bunny ears. To the sinful beauty of the female form restricted and restrained by hemp, leather, and lace. I wish I could say I resisted such temptations, but with God and yourself as my witness, I have not. In fact, one might say I overindulged. I ogled at women in both low-cut shirts and voluminous sweaters, well filled by their assets alike, gazed lustfully upon art of women being carried off against their will to a fate unknown, but surely devious, dastardly, and delicious. Should a lady pass me by with her lower extremities shown in any capacity, I would not resist stealing an errant glance, just imagining what I would do if I had them bared before me and at my mercy. Latex and leather and silk haunt my dreams, tempting me even further from the path of righteousness. Oh, sister, if only such lust were contained to humans alone! Recently, I have found myself with a lascivious fixation on women with a far less than human appearance. That's right, monster girls. Something about them sets my heart ablaze and supercharges my neurons. None are safe from my salacious ruminations. And worst of all, Sister Shinryu, and please, do not judge me too harshly, but even you have been the subject of these profane ponderings sometimes. Truly, I have strayed from God's light, lusting after a woman of the cloth. I have even, in spite of myself, dreamt of dreams surely sent by Lucifer himself of you, my imagination running with wild about all the things the habit might be hiding, of how adorable your countenance would be affixed with a beautiful blush and a timid yet defiant pout. Your adorable face, your kind-hearted demeanor, and your bright, enchanting laugh. All things I wish to twist to my own base perversions. It's wrong, I know, but it's so hard to resist the temptation. My sin is truly unsightly, sister. I'm not even sure I deserve forgiveness for the degenerate I've become. Yet here I am, my evil laid bare before you and God. Regardless, and I will repent. Please, show me the way back to the light. That is indeed quite the confession you have there, oh wayward child. Now, again, no need for bricks, no need for bonks, or for sprays. It is all right, my friends. It is all right. Now, they understand the weight, they understand the weight of their sins, and I applaud them for that, and I applaud them for coming forward about it. Now, let's see. I understand that it is indeed human nature to come back to and yearn for the pleasures of the flesh. for these carnal desires, if you will. Yes, it is a very, very normal and human thing. And from what I can tell, you have limited yourself to simply looking and thinking. And it is, I think, most important what you think next and what you do with these thoughts, yes? Now, if you have not affronted, as you've stated here, it is mainly women, monster girls and women alike. If you have not affronted any of these women, I applaud you for behaving, for not acting unwise. Now, I understand that this is indeed basic human decency, but still, I do believe that it is a good thing that you're able to keep yourself in check. That is something you should pat yourself on the back for. Yes. Now, let's see. So, about these thoughts. Now, if you do wish to reduce these thoughts that you have, to, how do you say, avoid thinking about them, from what I know, it is never easy, nor is it advisable to go cold turkey, as they call it. It would simply be almost impossible to not think about such things. What is good, however, is to find a different frame of thought, if you will. For example, you could possibly translate these impure thoughts into endeavors that are more, how do you say, productive or creative. For example, in pursuit of art. It is true that a very common subject of art is human beauty, and that also includes the beauty of the body. Now, I do believe you could possibly translate these thoughts and desires of yours into one of the gaze of an artist, if you will. Yes. What is this hentai you speak of? I am not familiar with it. Well, they do say that creating art is also a what's it called? A vent of not venting, an avenue to release one's frustrations and how do you say, cope? I believe the kids call it copium. I'm not sure. Hentai is art. Then, well, if it relates to this topic that you speak of, then I highly recommend that you create hentai, yes. I believe that is a wonderful idea then. Of course, it does not have to be limited to simply visual art, perhaps. You could partake in, let's see, you can partake in scriptures, yes, creating scriptures. Oh, I do believe creating meditative scriptures might also be a very good idea. You know, get it out of your system. Yes, yes, yes. Now, let's see. As for these thoughts that you have of myself, it is true, I am simply but a woman. And I believe it is a simple fact of life that despite being a woman of the cloth, there will be situations wherein people may feel a certain way about me, and that is unavoidable. And I do not fault you for it. No, I do not fault you for it. However, I do believe and hope that we can continue to pursue friendly relations, yes? While it is quite flattering, your thoughts and feelings about me, I unfortunately do not partake in, nor do I wish to, how do you say, entertain these activities. Though, again, I'm flattered. And let's see. Again, aside from what I said about how you enact yourself, well, I did mention your second thoughts about the individuals that you are having a sexually charged gaze at. Yes. What I mean is, are you familiar with the saying wherein the first thought that comes into your mind is what you are trained to think? The second thought that comes into your mind is says far more about yourself and is who you actually are. For example, if I were in a situation where I saw somebody with a very tattered shirt, I would probably first think like, man, that shirt doesn't look very nice. But my second thought could be possibly something like, oh, perhaps it's an old shirt and it's just worn out. Sometimes it happens. Maybe it's laundry day, or maybe they're a very hard worker, or they just don't have the opportunity to get new clothes for themselves. And I shouldn't be so judgmental about it. Now, the second thoughts that you have about these individuals that you are gazing at, remembering that they are indeed still people and treating them as such is, I think, the most important thing. Yes. So I believe that in spite of these feelings that you have, how you carry yourself and treat others is most important. Yes. And let's see. You are forgiven for the guilt that you carry, for the sins that you bear. Just remember to continue to repent by being kind and mindful. Yes. And oh yes, please do create that hentai that the others here in the hall today have mentioned. Since I'm very not knowledgeable about this hentai myself, perhaps you could show it to me. I absolutely love art. We do truly appreciate the arts here as well. The Wise Worm loves artists. The Wise Worm, as you can see, has had the chapel painted very intricately. So, sister, no? Please don't encourage? But I thought we were encouraging the production of art here, the pursuit of creativity. I don't think we should be stifling it. Well, if you would like to keep it private, however, I understand. It's all right. I appreciate it, though. Anyway, thank you very much for your confession. Now, let us move on to the next one, shall we? Now, if it's short enough, I will simply paste it back in the text box. The next one is... this one's short enough. Let me edit it. Okay. Enter. Excuse me. Enter. Oh, Wise Worm, please forgive me. Oh, dear. Oh, God. Oh, dear God. Excuse me. All right. It's almost... apologies. For all of you here today, I must partake in some drink. Excuse me a moment. Please feel free to partake in drinks in here as well. We allow drinking, not alcoholic drinking. Actually, I will simply turn the other. Actually, no. Alcohol is technically allowed in here. It's technically allowed in the Church of the Wise Worm. So feel free if you want to. But I will drink some water myself. Pardon me. Also, pardon me. One moment. Excuse me. How unladylike of me. Anyway, let me paste this next one. Copy. Hide this one. Open this one back up. And paste it here. Now, the next confession reads, Dear Sister Shinryu, please hear my confession. My sin is quite grievous indeed. You see, I hate the internet's favorite animal. Yes, I despise cats. It all started when I found out I was allergic to them. The first night I stayed over a friend's house with a pet cat. I spent the whole night sneezing and foolishly rubbing my eyes, which became swollen and red. As I grew older and observed more feline behavior, I came to further admonish their standoff attitudes, their stuck-up personalities, and their annoying antics. It honestly baffles my mind how so many people love these creatures with all their flaws, just because they act cute and loving less than 10% of their lives. Alas, this is the case, and thus I would never admit to such beliefs to anyone else. Please forgive me for these totally based and true opinions. Well, while I would beg to differ, I will say that you are forgiven for your, based and true opinions. Totally. Anyway, yeah, you are forgiven. You are forgiven for that. Now, while I understand, while you do not appreciate the way that cats are, it is true that the majority of them are standoffish. But let's face it, many humans are also still loved for their flaws, yes? So I think at least in that regard, knowing that us ourselves, other people, there are many people who are, how do you say, less than kind in this world, yet they still receive love and understanding from the people that they keep with them, right? I do believe, at least in that regard, we should respect that cats are loved for a reason. Yes. It is totally fine to not like cats. I will respect your totally based and true opinion. But just make sure that you do not admonish others for theirs as well, yes? Now, if you would like to at least be open to learning more about cats, there are hypoallergenic cats, and there also are some forms of medication that will probably tone down your allergic reactions. Is Sister judging? No, of course not. Why would I be judging? I would never judge. No. I am simply human as well, so I am also entitled to my own opinions, yes? And I am simply sharing my thoughts on those as well. I am not saying that I'm right. I am just simply indulging my thoughts. Anyway, thank you very much for your submission. You are forgiven for affronting the great animal that is the cat. Again, thank you for sharing it with everyone today. We shall move on to the next submission. Now... Oh, this one is a bit long as well. I will screenshot this. I will screenshot this instead. Please cooperate with me. Technology. All right, technology is now cooperating. All right, copy. And... paste. Multiply. Apologies for the flashbang again. Now, this next confession reads, Sister Shinryu, I must confess, I am way into mechs. And not into them in the building, piloting, and battling sense. I mean, in that way. Okay, allow me to clarify. I am not so much interested in relations with robots. Rather, I am more interested in being a large, powerful machine that's doing the relations. You see, ever since I discovered the weakness of my flesh— Nah, I'm kidding. It's nothing like that. I just want to lighten the mood. I wasn't always this way. At first, my interests in the pleasures of the flesh were normal. One could even argue within good Christian values. But ever since I started watching a wonderful and cute streamer named Skye Shinryu, I've started questioning myself. Like, I didn't get why she looked at a large, towering machine, its massive, powerful weapons skewering its opponents, and sharp features glowing with a frightful red hue, and think, that's hot. But then it hit me. I didn't get it because she was dreaming of being on the receiving end of that power, but me, I want to be that power. I want to be able to crush my enemies with a storm of bullets, missiles, and pile drivers, to be able to perfectly calculate a response in picoseconds based on flawless algorithmic programming, and I want to feel the soft squish of flesh below my metallic form as I snatched a rival pilot from her machine's cockpit after a long, grueling battle, so I can have her at my mercy, helpless to resist me in doing whatever I please with her. Such cold strength, calculated certainty, and raw output can't be achieved by mere humans. And I'm not only envious, but the idea of wiring my brain to a machine's AI and having that sort of control might has become a huge neuron activator for me. I know it's wrong, though, so here I am, seeking forgiveness for my sick fantasies. Pass on to me the judgment of the omniscient— I mean God. Yes, thank you very kindly for your confession. I don't know what's wrong with me. Wait, hang on, this nun hab is getting a little hot. I don't know what's happening to me. I simply have no thoughts about mecha in general. I personally myself am not educated on them, again, as I am a recluse of the wise worm. Perhaps this is Skye's influence. Hang on a second. I can't feel my hands. They've been clutching at themselves for too long. Hang on, I can't feel my hands. One minute, please. Okay. All right. Anyway, moving on. I do not see this as a sin. However, this can be interpreted as a sin if this is the sin of wrath, if you will. I believe this is what they call a power fantasy, yes? Now, I am aware that power fantasies come in many different forms. For some people, it may be superheroes. For others, it may be positions of power, like being a president. And perhaps in your case, my child, it is becoming a giant, extremely powerful, strong, very intelligent being who's very intimidating and very strong man-made machine. Yes. Yes. No, I don't think I'm drooling. If ever, it might just be that I'm a little bit sleepy. It might just be that I'm a bit sleepy. It is a bit of an early day here at the Church of the Wise Worm. Now, excuse me. Oh, I believe the Wise Worm is reminding me to calm down. Now, I don't believe that wanting to be powerful is a bad thing. But if you do desire to destroy and absolutely crush and decimate those around you, I don't think that's a good thing. And while it is normal to have desires of power, I don't think it's good to pursue that. Now, it is highly unlikely that within the next few hundred years, who knows though, that such fantasies may come to life. I do believe it would be good to carry yourself in a manner that would be befitting a more benevolent being of power. Yes? Now, not saying that giant robots can't be benevolent beings. Just remember to carry yourself wisely and be kind to those around you. Such dangerous matters of the world must be brought to the attention of the Church of the Wise Worm. So, if giant robots do become a thing in the outside realm, I would like to humbly request that this PMC that Skye runs report to me immediately regarding these matters. Understood? It could potentially be a risk to the Wise Worm and us ourselves. Yes, so please, if you see a giant, hulking, massive, powerfully dangerous and intimidating robot, please let us know immediately. Understood? We appreciate your cooperation. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much again for this confession. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Now, again, you're forgiven for your sin. Just don't be unwise. Got it? Okay, now let's move on to the next submission. Is this one long? It's not that long. But I'll be honest, it is a bit easier doing it this way, but no, I will properly edit it into place. Okay, enter, copy, hide, and paste. Okay, that didn't work. 1 minute. I'm editing it. There we go. Now, let's see. She's so dedicated to the cause, inspiring. Yes, thank you for understanding. Yes, I'm very dedicated to the Wise Worm. No ulterior motives whatsoever. None. Okay, now let us read the next confession, shall we? Now, where is this? There we go. In the past, I was fortunate enough to make connections and become friends with a few of the artists who had the most dramatic impact on me and my own development as an artist, but I ruined everything with them. I failed to keep my emotions in check and burned the bridges that had been kindly offered to me. All I had to do was accept their friendship and treat them like I would any other friend, but I just couldn't move past their talent or status. I allowed it to break me down, and no matter how much I wanted to feel differently, I felt nothing but envy and self-loathing. I felt like nothing compared to them, and I couldn't stop myself from obsessing over that comparison. It fills me with regret when I think about that time. I missed out on the joy of supportive friendships and great opportunities, and I have no one but myself to blame. Oh dear, I am terribly sorry that you've gone through that, my child. You, while you feel guilty, you are forgiven for it. Now, let me explain. Again, it seems that you understand the weight of the situation, and you do feel plenty of regret for not taking the hand that was offered to you. And I understand that it came from a place of how do you say, aside from the self-loathing and envy that you may have felt from their talent that you witnessed from them, perhaps there were other factors as well. It is not my place to presume, but I understand the feeling. Yes. Now, it will take time to grieve, and I do believe that acceptance is indeed the first step to healing from this. Yes. It will take time, but I think another productive way of going about it is keeping the well wishes and memories of these people in mind, and continue to behave the way you wished you had back then going forward. In my case, I had something similar happen to me as well. Before I had joined the sisterhood of the Church of the Wise Worm, I also had burned many bridges with not just people who pursued the same craft as I did, but also just friends in general, those I had met and made at school. And I was, how do you say, offered their kind hand and support, and in times of trouble they came to me to offer their help, but I very harshly turned them away and said many things that I regret. And to this day, while I do feel that twinge of regret and wish I had treated them better, I do keep in mind that it was out of a place of love and care that they did it for me. And the best way that I could possibly honor that is by treating others the same way that they had treated me. Now, this may not work for everyone, but I do believe that thinking over it, spending the time to discover it is what you want to do and how you want to feel about it, will probably offer you some insight on what to do next. Perhaps take a step away from the situation, or like maybe do some things you haven't done before and like spend some time alone, think about it. Perhaps just lie down in bed and mull it over. And let's see, there's also the case of what's it called, you can also rebuild bridges if you'd like. That is also a very possible opportunity. I also had to silently cut ties with some people once I fully realized that they don't show as much empathy and compassion for some of my peers. To talk to them properly face to face, I fear that I may not have the bravery to properly be honest with them. That is a very, very viable and real and justified fear. It is truly terrifying to confront people, especially those who you feel have affronted you, but you, how do you say, are not sure how to go about it, I believe. It can be quite worrying. Sometimes I myself am quite worried and scared to approach Father Orc if Father Orc has said something not quite nice and that I did not appreciate. Especially if, for example, if they are persons in power, yes? Certain dynamics of certain relationships can be quite difficult to deal with. And in some cases, the closer you were to someone, the more difficult it can be. It can be out of fear for hurting them, or fear of hurting yourself because you still care about that person. But I do believe that in the end, if it's something that truly is continuing to bother you, it would be good to set up a plan, figure out what it is you want to do, and then write down things you want to say and approach them about it. And ideally, have a sort of conclusion or compromise that you would like to propose to them in the end, so that it's not, unless you don't mind leaving it open-ended. Yeah. Cutting ties is really easy. The difficult part is rebuilding that connection. Yes, that is true. I myself have not really rebuilt any of the connections that I previously had. Unfortunately, working as a sister of the wise worm doesn't allow me many opportunities to communicate with the outside world, unfortunately. And there are people that I dearly miss and appreciate the times that I spent with them. But I do hope that the work that I do here will eventually reach them, and that they know that I'm still thinking very fondly of them, yes. Now, there are some cases where I have rebuilt some bridges myself, and it wasn't easy. It took years. It took years. Sometimes it really just takes time. But if you feel like it's the right thing to do, then I think by all means you should go for it. I'm sure that this is something that you will not simply do on impulse, or at least I hope that this is not something you will do on impulse. Yes, you appreciate or something's important, someone or something's importance and value once you lose them. Yes, isn't there a song like that? Only, only lose the light when it's burning low. Only miss the song when it starts to slow. Only know you love her when you let her go, and you let her go. I do believe that there are many songs about this. Definitely formulate a plan. Formulate a plan before you approach anything. If I may recommend, writing things down on paper is very useful. It helps me get my thoughts out a lot better. Yes. And if you need to get all sentimental and sad about it first, go make a playlist of all the songs that share your feelings and like feel it out. Maybe it might help. There are many different ways, many different outlets, and you know, there's so many ways you can go about it. But I do hope that whatever it is that you decide to do, that it goes well for you. I do hope that it goes well for you, my child. Let's see. Some bridges are cut by one's experience at times. I once lost my rating fire team in Destiny 1, the Taken King, because I got cocky due to other games and I miss them to this day. Oh, yes, that is true. Sometimes, if it is not of one's own volition, sometimes situations or experiences can lead to bridges being burned, and that is indeed unfortunate. It never hurts to come back and say sorry, though, in my opinion. I have apologized for deeply hurting some people. I did mention that I rebuilt some bridges. Yes, I have apologized in the past for the shameful behavior that I displayed. And while I did not expect an apology back from them, I was very grateful that they were still open to communicating with me. Unfortunately, again, my work as a sister here in the Wise Worm doesn't allow me many opportunities to speak with them, but I'm still very grateful. Yes. Okay, thank you very much again for your confession, and you are forgiven, my child. Now, let us move on to the next person who seeks guidance and solace. All right. Let's see. One moment, please. I'm just double checking. Yeah, this is right. Okay. Now, I was just making sure because the form did state one submission per person only. Let's see. Where is the next one? All right. How do I go about copy pasting this? You know what? I'll just screenshot it. Okay. Copy and hide. And paste, multiply. That's color burn, but that works. Never mind, multiply. Okay, so this next confession reads, "My apologies, Sister Shinryu, but I committed a great and terrible sin. I have allowed myself to be ensnared by the beautiful and dangerous temptress that is Stephanie Shinryu, and I think I'm in love. I wasn't sure what all the fuss was about when I first saw her. Sure, she was beautiful, and knew how to enrapture you with her bewitching words and lovely, sensual voice. But I had no idea what she was truly capable of until the membership stream. Without revealing any details, she played her part so well. She had me positively spellbound from the moment her voice whispered in my ear. It was like melted silken chocolate, a sweet siren song, tempting me to let go and give in to my base desires. And I hate to admit it, but I did. I have fallen head over heels for that woman, and I would kick down the gates of hell, brave Satan's worst, and whisk her away under pain of a far worse than death, just for the chance to see her again. The things I want to do to her I dare not describe aloud, far too profane, but I am sure you can gather they're certainly not all pure. I come to seek redemption for my impure thoughts, yet I can't help but wonder, is it wrong to love? Is it wrong to feel passion towards another, if it's done in a healthy manner? Is it truly so sinful to love Stephanie Shinryu? Now, wait, what is this in chat? So, this is the same church a certain pirate goes to, or a pirate? I am not very familiar with any pirates. There have been pirates in the port who come by, but I don't think any of them particularly attend the church. Anyway, so, let's see. It is not wrong to love someone. Certainly not. It is not wrong to love someone, especially not in a healthy manner. And in fact, I believe that is a good thing. However, to have so many impure thoughts may lead to one acting unwise, and again, we do not promote that here under our teachings. Yes. So, again, as the advice I provided to the person earlier, there are outlets, and there are many different ways of changing your line of thinking. And let's see. I have no idea who this Stephanie Shinryu is. I have not met, I believe Skye calls them the Shinryu-verse, the Skye-verse, I believe. I have not met anyone else from there. And I'm not entirely sure if I myself am one of these worlds too. But I wouldn't be surprised if I was. Yes. And, yes, Sister Marine, but she's on the JP side. Oh, I see. Another sister from another church. That's very interesting. 私も日本語はわかりますけど、なんとかですね。いつか、シスターマリンと出会えるのは、いつか叶えるとのはいいと思いますね。そうですね。It would be lovely if I could meet Sister Marine someday. That would be quite interesting, yes. Vanilla only? Why are you talking about drinks right now? I do like vanilla quite a lot, though. It is a very delicious flavor. Very nice and simple, yes. Alright, you are forgiven for your sins, and it does seem that you are able to keep yourself in check. But again, I will simply prescribe to you the advice that I prescribed to the previous person as well. So, thank you for coming forward about this. It is much appreciated. Now, let us move on to the next response, shall we? The next confession. Copy. I think this one's short enough. And enter. Okay, there are a lot more lines than I thought there would be. Maybe I should just continue screenshotting these from now on. All right. Copy. Open this again. And we paste this now. Ahem. The next confession reads, back in junior high, I was saving up for a game that I really wanted to play on day one. Couldn't get a job and I was $20 short. One day during lunch at school, I sat down at a table and noticed a $20 bill just laying there at the edge of the seat. I looked around, all my buds were waiting in line to get their lunch. Then I looked back at the $20 bill. Needless to say, I grabbed that free $20 and shoved it into my shoe. Next thing you know, while I'm eating my lumpia, This one kid that bullied me back in early middle school comes looking around asking where his 20 bucks went and desperately searching from table to table. I feel guilty to this day because I know that guy comes from a broken home. But at the same time, dude was a bit let's just say he would feel at home in a 2009 COD lobby. I don't know if things would change if I gave him back his money or not. Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, what you have committed is, well, if not an act of thievery, it is an act of dishonesty. So I do believe that you have committed a sin towards another person. Although this person may have wronged you, we do not believe that it gives people the right to wrong others. Now, it is normal to want, revenge. And while I do enjoy a good revenge plot and certain kinds of, repentance and redemption are good, considering this person's situation and given that it was just 20 bucks, I think they may have needed that. Yeah. However, I understand that you're guilty, and it was a decision you made when you were young. It's all right. You are forgiven. You are expressing your guilt. Now, I just hope that you have quit this type of behavior. Yes, they had it coming, so why can't you see? I can't turn my cheek no longer. If you want revenge, just turn their parents into chili. Now, that's a little bit much, don't you think? I think, personally, that acts of kindness can lead to people treating others for the better. An eye for an eye makes the whole world go blind, as they say. But showing people what kindness is can truly change them, I think. Especially if they come from a situation wherein kindness is not normal. Yes? Yes. Or if their view of kindness is skewed, if you will. As a sister, revenge is the last thing I would expect of you. This is truly noted. World definitely could use more kindness. There is a saying that I've read somewhere that I have learned far more about love from the loving kind and concern of good friends than I have from tough love, something like that, I believe. Not saying that all kinds of tough love are bad, but those that instill fear are usually not very effective. Yes. And if I may share an anecdote from my days back in school, there was a young girl who also bullied me. And basically she would physically harass and also verbally harass me every now and then. Perhaps not every day, but if she was not in a very good mood, she would get around to it. And while it did upset me and I never normally talked to her, there was at one point where I found out that she was crying alone in the classroom after class. And I did learn that she came from a not so very kind household also. Instead of turning a blind eye, I decided to sit down with her and offer her some tissues. Because as much as I, disliked her, I simply couldn't bring myself to just not do something. And I do think that after that, she was a bit kinder to me, just a little bit. I don't know if it was out of ego for having shown me a moment of weakness, or perhaps a bit more consideration for what happened. But whatever it was, let's see. I just hope that I hope that she felt better in that moment. And I did check in on her. I don't talk to her at all, but I did check on her and to see how she's doing. And I must say, her pursuit of her craft has improved immensely, and she is a wonderful craftsman, and she creates amazing things, and I'm proud of her for that. She will probably never see this, And that's totally fine by me. But I'm happy for her that she's reached such a level of skill. I just hope that she's doing well. Let's see. You for sure showed her. Yeah, give him the old 1-2. 1-2 being like 1, be rootin', 2, be tootin'. Give them 1-2-3, but 3, most of all, be kind. Yes? Yes. Oh, you're a good person, sister. I honestly would beg to differ. I don't think I'm a very good person. I only try to be. I try my best to be. Majority of the time, I am indeed very tempted to, again, I am simply human. I am very tempted to cast wrath upon this world many times throughout my daily life. But, I make sure that even if no one's watching, I try to keep myself in check and remind myself that I'm not the only one going through a crappy day. Sometimes trying is the best we can do. Yes, indeed. Trying is the best that we can do sometimes. And I think that should be enough. And we should commend ourselves for that. Yes. Again, to you who made a choice in the past, we can't change what we have done in the past. But I just hope that nowadays you are living a more fulfilled life. Like, see, I feel no resentment towards the person who had wronged me later on in life. Like, sure, the experience itself wasn't pleasant, but I don't hold it against them. Hopefully, the same person will find the same forgiveness for you too. Yeah, and again, if ever you want to, though it may not really be a big thing to them, who knows? You could always bring it up with them if you're feeling particularly brave about it, I guess. Now, let's move on to the next submission. Thank you again for your confession. Let's see. We have a lot. We have a lot. I hope I'll be able to get to all of these because we do have a time limit. And it's already almost 12. We have about a little more than an hour to go. All right. I think this one's long. I will just screenshot it. I will just screenshot this. Okay. Excuse me. Excuse me. Pardon me. Very unladylike. Anyway, moving on. Multiply. Okay. So, this next submission. What an interesting term, calling me One-chan. I have not been called One-chan before, now that I think about it, only sister. But anyway, the confession reads, "Sorry, One-chan, I've been a very naughty boy. Recently, I've become obsessed with head pats. If I see something cute, I can't resist wanting to pat it on the head, especially if it's a cute girl. I think the urge is sinful because it feels wrong to want to show affection in such a blatant, possibly aggressive manner. Next thing you know, I'll want to do something truly sinful, like wanting to hold their hand or something." No! No! Truly a scandalous and sinful thought. Recently, there's this positively adorable girl that I've been watching recently. She's blonde, has been wearing a very revealing pilot's uniform lately, and has long hair that she often wears in loops. She's got a soft, calming voice and comes off as hardworking and put together, yet is often quite clumsy and silly and discombobulated. Let me tell you, her adorability levels are spiked off the dang charts. When you hear her hiccup, you can scarcely resist the urge to put your hands together in praying position with a cry of "Tasukaru!" Taking a gesture of faith in vain has never made my heart feel so warm and fuzzy. But yeah, I really, really want to just take my hand, put it on her head, press down nice and firm, and just pat, 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 get happy, get happy, get happy. Oh, brother Charmius, Onishiwan, thank you very much for the super. Thank you kindly for your donation to the Church of the Wise Worm. For the, what was that? Apologies for the, what was that? For the collection plate? What collection plate? Oh, yes, the collection plate. Yes, of course. Yes, we have a collection plate. Sorry, we tend to use nets here. Like baskets, things like that. Yes, we have those. Yes, pat, 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 get happy, get happy, get happy, you know? But I know such aggressive urges are a sin. So please, One-chan, tell me what I have to do to repent for being such a bad boy. I see. Well, why am I blushing? They stated that they wanted to commit hand-holding. That is truly a sinful crime. Do you understand? That is truly something only those who have been joined together under the covenant of the wise worm can commit. Do you understand that? Yes, it is indeed quite lewd. However, well, what you must do to repent, on one hand, I do commend you for wanting to share the joy and happiness that a head pat can give a person. Just make sure to get their consent first, all right? Now, I do think giving head pats should be all right. In fact, if you want to give me a head pat, I will allow it. You have my consent. And share the joy that is head pats with other people. Yes, that is your repentance. Bringing joy into other people's lives. Yes, that is your repentance. And then only then shall you be forgiven. All right? Better censor that hand holding. Yes, the only permissible hand holding is holding your own hand and holding the hands of the one you hold most dear. Yes. Head pats. Oh, one moment. One moment. Ah, yes. Oh dear. Oh my. Oh dear. Thank you very much, all of you, for the many head pats. I appreciate it. It feels rather ticklish. Thank you. Thank you kindly. All right. I believe that's more than enough head pats. You may stop now. You may stop now, please. Please. My head feels all ticklish. You might mess up my habit, my nun habit. Please. Anyway. Thank you. That's enough. That is enough. All right. See, this is what I mean. Consent. All right. You understand? Good. All right. Now you may put away your hand now. Anyway, now that is your repentance, and thank you very much for sharing your confession with us. Now, let us move on to the next submission, shall we? That's a lot. That's a lot. All right. Now let me see. Wait, hang on a second. Wait, here we go. My bad. I was actually looking at an older submission. One sec. All right, now let me copy and actually no. I'll just screenshot it. I'll just screenshot it. It's faster that way. Okay. I'm sorry for all the notification sounds. This next one. No, this next one reads, whenever I say I must retire early during a stream and I'm not at work, I'm not actually busy, I'm just hopping on Phasmophobia with the squad. Are you are you shirking your responsibilities in your PMC? Now, I do believe it is not in my place to condemn you for this. I believe this is something that you should bring up with your commander. Yes, if you ask me though, personally, it is not wrong to spend time with other people that you hold dear in your life, yes? It's perfectly fine. Yes, it's perfectly fine. However, I do think, I don't know if the commander will say the same thing. Though she might. She seems to be an understanding person from what I've seen from her. Yes, so I say that you are sinless in this situation and you are fine. But thank you. Easy. 1 second, please. Oh, dear goodness. You are fine. You are fine. Okay. Again, I must partake in some drink. Excuse me a second. Okay. Thank goodness that Father Orc leaves out many refreshments for everyone. Okay. Ow. Now, again, I believe you're sinless, but thank you for coming forward with this. I appreciate it. You are forgiven for the guilt that you feel. Now, next, confession. This this next confession. Sorry. I'm not judging. I'm not judging. I just found it a little what's the word? I was caught off guard. Hang on. Let's remove these. Now, let's enter the next one. The next confession reads, I am broke and cannot simp for the anime girls I like. Well, it would help greatly if you could explain the reasons as to why you are broke. Perhaps that is the situation. Stop playing gacha. Yes, there is one cardinal sin. There is one cardinal sin in the Church of the Wise Worm is to play gacha games. So, if you are playing gacha games, you will be condemned to a life of poverty. if you continue this unwise behavior. So I would recommend quitting the gacha games. Or you could play gacha, but no swipe. Put away the card, remove it from your automatic payments or whatever. Just play free to play. Do it out of your own, out of your own hard work. And if you can't get the thing that you want without the help of your card, then that's just a skill issue, I believe is what they called it. Yes. But I do hope that if you wish to support those that you care for most, that changing your ways will allow you to serve your greater cause. Yes? Thank you very much for your submission. Wait, if you spend money on gacha games, that also means you spend money for anime girls? That is a fair point. That is a fair point. That is true. Well then, that is a conundrum, my friend. And I believe that is something that you will have to solve for yourself. Of how exactly you want to go about this. I believe that everything can be solved in moderation, but it is up to you. Yes. Anyway, yes, you are guilty, you are sinful, and for possibly playing gacha games, you're condemned to the second circle of hell. Dragon hell. Worm hell. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for your confession. Hopefully you'll have a good time repenting there. Next confession. Thank you again. Let's see. Next one is, all right, let's paste this one. There. Okay. Next one reads, hello, oh beautiful and majestic sister Shinryu. Today, I would like to confess my sins to the all-beautiful judge. I have been a viewer for a very long time. I am often lurking in chat. I would like to confess that despite being very parasocial with you sometimes, I have been hiding a secret from you. I am actually married for 8 years, so despite my great love for you, we can never be together because I love my wife just so much. Aww! Aww! If the sin is being parasocial, I hope that your delulu, I believe it is called, will be cured soon, my friend. But I am very happy to hear that you love your wife very much, and I think that is a very good thing. I wish for all of the happiness and success and fun and romance in your marriage with your wife. Just because it's been 8 years doesn't mean that, sparks still can't fly, or sparks don't fly, right? I'm sure that with this statement that you've made, I'm sure you love her very, very much, and I'm sure you two are very happy, and I'm very happy for you. That is... Yeah, his Delulu is true Lulu with his wife. You're right. You're absolutely right. Yes. Wait, love wife just as much? You should love your wife more. You should love your wife more, I believe. I think that's important. He bears the sins of having a... And then... sorry, excuse me. I do not believe that having a wife is a sin. But I do believe that for every human being, there is enough space to have a wife, husband, partner, and a waifu, husbando, and girl failure. Girl failure, girl boss, baby girl. Yes, there's enough space for all of these things in a person's life. Yes, but what's most important is that you put the person that you have decided to spend the rest of your life with on top. That is most important. Yes, wife Lulu. What language are we even more? I have no idea. We are speaking the language of the great worm, the wise worm. Yes. Anyway, yes. Anyway, it is nice to know that you are still dedicated to supporting the commander, and I commend you for that, while also keeping your happy marriage. If ever you could share it with your wife if you want to both partake in supporting the commander. And in fact, I think the commander would be happy to hear more people learning about the PMC and the things that they do together. Yes, I think that would be nice. Luckily, there's enough Skye to be all of them. Get your wife to call you her pathetic. Oh, let's let the confessor. Yeah, I think the confessor knows what they want and their wife best. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you again for your confession. You are forgiven for your delulu. Your parasocial delulu. You're forgiven. Oh my god. All right, let's check the. Let's check the next confession. Let's see. All right, so we have here. This is our next confession. Here we go. All right, so my first time was in a church. Now, my child, that, you know what? I'm very happy for you. There's always a first time in meeting God, right? So I'm so very happy that you found your way into like your first experience there in the church. I am very, very happy for you. And in fact, I do hope that there are many people to witness that as well. It is a very great union, a time of union when one is in the church speaking to those that they revere. Yes, yes, I'm very happy for you, and I hope you continue to do so. To continue coming back to commune and reach unity with those who you revere in the church. Yes. I'm very, very happy for you. I don't see a sin in this at all. That's wonderful. All right, now, and you know what? I highly recommend that the rest of you do this as well. Do come by the Church of the Wise Worm and become one with each other. Yes, become one with each other. In fact, I think it's great if we all come together. Yes, and gather under the great worm, the great big worm. Yes. Now, okay, I do believe that there's nothing to forgive here, only things to celebrate. Now, let's move on to the next submission then, shall we? All right. Let's see. This next confession is as follows. One moment. Oh, great sister, I must confess, I have no idea what I'm doing. I should not be allowed to be an adult. And thank you very much, my friendo, for the pink super chat. Is this the Skyworm Church? I hear the halls are blessed with the great hicks and refreshments, and blessed with the very nun who resides in the great hall. Truly blessed. Here's my investment. Thank you very kindly for your donation to the Church of the Great Worm. It will further our cause and help us spread our message. Now, back to this confession about the person not knowing what they are doing. You are not at fault for this, my child. It's okay. I do believe that majority of the time. Again, thank you very much, my friendo, for the
Is this the Skyward
for the super chat.
I hear the halls are blessed with the
let's
great
finish.
and the refreshments are blessed with the very nun who resides in this great hall. Truly blessed. Here is my investment.
Thank you again, my friend. It is truly a blessed day that you are sharing with us. Your blessings as well. Thank you. Now, for this confession, yes, most of the time I believe most adults have no idea what they're doing. It is a very confusing world out there, and even people who are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, I'm pretty sure they're also facing new things that they have no idea what to do about either. So please do not be so hard on yourself. And if you do feel lost, I think it is totally okay to reach out for assistance or for guidance from wherever that may be it family, friends, advice panels, workshops, a book. Actually, I think some people may tend to forget that books and experiences from other people are also useful forms of learning as well. Even if they are anecdotal or if they happen to be documentary, factual, etc., it can be useful, yes. And yeah, none of us know what we're doing, essentially. Ma'am, this is the Wendy's. Oh, no, this is a church. But there is a Wendy's right outside, if you'd like. There, aside from the refreshments within the church, there are many fast food chains outside for some reason. Yes. So if you're hungry, please feel free to go and eat there. The Church of Wendy. A Wendy worm. Anyway, moving on. Thank you very much for your confession. Do not worry. I hope that we can ease your guilt somehow, but you are innocent, my child. Now, moving on to the next submission. Let's see. We have this next one here. Let me turn this one off. The confession reads as follows. Forgive me, for I have sinned. Because it has been forever since my last confession, because I've never been to confession before. My confession is, because of the time difference, I generally don't catch all of Skye's streams and often fall asleep during them. It's not much of a sin compared to most, but it does bother me from time to time. Now, I do believe you should simply ask forgiveness straight from the commander herself, but I see no sin in this, and I believe it is totally understandable. There are many different people across the world. You are not at fault for this, my child. It is understandable. It is all right. You are fine. You are fine. And as long as you continue to support her in the ways that you can, I think that's what's most important, yes? Watching the recordings, commenting, liking, interacting with generally anything that she puts out, I think that's what matters. And you can also show your support in non-real-time ways as well, such as, what is it we were talking about? Oh, I don't know. The different forms of art we had discussed. Yes? Different forms of art, writing, expressing your gratitude in other ways. I heard that the commander is also someone who enjoys music a lot as well. And I do believe most of all, simply spending time with the commander is what she appreciates the most. Yes. She seems to love and care for you all very, very much. Mm-hmm. So, you are forgiven for your transgression. I don't think it's in my place to say it, but I believe you should be forgiven for your transgression against the commander, even if it isn't actually a transgression. It is simply a situation, right, that you are simply in. Yes. So, thank you again for your confession. Let us move on to the next one. We have many, many more to go. I believe there are 13 more after this one. I think it should be okay. Now, let's see. Our next confession is as follows. When I was 14, I stole my older sister's panties from the laundry hamper, sold them to a kid in gym period, and used the money to buy a used copy of Metroid Fusion. I regret nothing. Was the game good though? Was it good? I am not very knowledgeable on video games, so I am not very familiar with Metroid Fusion. Well, at least he has good taste in games. It's great. All right. At first I was gonna be like, huh? And I was like, huh? Grind set. Modern problems require modern solutions. Well, again, it is a crime to commit thievery, especially against those who are close to you. I do believe that you need some correction, as since you do not feel any regret. So for you, your sin has yet to be forgiven. Understood? Now, I will sentence you to the third circle of worm hell. And that is where you will be drowned in a sea of panties. Whose exactly? You don't know. But you do know that not all of them are pleasant. And that shall be your repentance for that. Understood? Understood, until you feel the weight of your sins. But kind of based though for the grind set. I applaud you for that.
Are you trying to buy my
BB Des,
favor?
thank you very much for your $10
Sister
donation.
Skye, for I have sinned. I used a pay-to-win method to get ahead in the confession reading.
Yes, you have committed a sin by putting yourself ahead of the others. And for that, let's see, and for getting a personal personal confession and a response from me immediately, I will condemn you to the fourth circle of worm hell, where you will have incessant alerts speaking in a strange language to constantly talk to you. But once you've spent enough time in there, probably I'll give you about a day, you will be forgiven. But thank you very much again for your kind donation. It is very much appreciated. All right, I believe I have dished out the necessary punishments for these individuals. So let us go ahead and move on to the next confession, shall we? Thank you again for coming forward for this, but I do hope that you drown in those panties. Anyway, next confession is... All right, I'm screenshotting it now. Sometimes, I will admit, I wonder if these are from all the same individual. But I know that Skye set the settings to 1 per email. And, well, maybe there's just a common theme with all of these. Anyway. Forgive me, sister, for I have sinned. I confess that I have a lot of affection and giggle towards you because you're so damn cute. Please forgive me for the occasional affectionate bricking and spraying. It's one of my forms of affection. You're just so damn adorable that your giggle makes me giggle. Please, crush me with your thighs. Please, I beg you. PPS, Stephanie rules, Skye drools. Again, what am I supposed to say to this? What am I supposed to say to this? While your feelings of affection, aggression, cute aggression, if you will, giggle, towards the commander are totally understandable. And you are forgiven for human feelings. I don't think it's very kind that you that you are putting someone else above your commander, this Stephanie person. I must simply learn more about her. And crushing you with her thighs. Are you simply instigating irritation to warrant this kind of violent behavior towards yourself? I don't think it's a very good thing that you're encouraging more violent behavior from the commander. Don't you think? Like, from what I know, the commander has sworn off of harming individuals, that she has put away her sword and it is forever sheathed. I don't think she would appreciate if you asked her to commit such violence against her own underlings. That would be abuse, would it not? Huh? Give him the steppies instead? What is the steppies you speak of? Well, regardless, sorry, sorry. These nun heels are not very kind on the feet. I may be getting a bit of a cramp. Standing here, I realize. Ow. Ouch. Anyway, I should ask Father Orc to buy bananas. Posture check? You're right. Anyway, thank you again for your confession. Your repentance shall be no thighs and no violence. Extreme violence. Very, very extreme violence. Yes. I think perhaps maybe in your case, how many people have we sent already? We've gone to the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th circles of hell. I believe you should be in the 5th, where you will be crushed by a giant block. Yeah, I think that sounds good. Yeah, all right. Okay, thank you for your confession. Let us move on to the next one, shall we? Next one. All right. This confession, let me copy the text, screenshot it and paste. The confession is as follows. Hang on a second. I will admit, I have not eaten a proper meal prior to beginning the confession stream, so my stomach is prone to certain fluctuations. But yes, we will take care of that later. Anyway, the confessions is as follows. I use double Zimmermans and double stun needles after discovering how powerful they are, and I love the feeling of power they give me. To see my enemies get instantly deleted pre-nerf sends chills to my body. I ask for forgiveness, but at the same time, I cannot ignore the call for the Zimmermans. My child, I am disappointed in you. You seek far too great a power in far too accessible a form. I'm sorry, but I'm truly disappointed in you. However, you do seem to feel regret for your actions, so I will forgive you for your sin. However, just make sure that you're winning, okay? If you're at least going to achieve great power, bring home the bacon, okay? Don't lose. Don't bring shame. Don't bring shame to yourself and to the PMC, all right? You hear me? All right? Okay. And as much as I would like to get the snack, there are no more snacks in the pantry. There are no more snacks in the church pantry, unfortunately. It is honestly high time that I've gone on another grocery run to replenish that. Yes. Anyway, what if he loses sister? Let's just say that if you lose even once, you will be condemned to the 6th circle of worm hell, wherein you will be forced to face Zimmermans yourself over and over and over again, and the very disgusting meta. Yes? I think that sounds good. All right. No, I think that's a decent punishment. Yes. All right. This is an emergency. We need to start a new Snackies fund. I believe if you would so wish to indulge both I and the commander in more Snackies, it would be greatly appreciated. I will communicate to her about it later. Later, yes. We must focus on the task at hand at first. If I can. I'm fine. I promise I'm fine. Hunger is simply but another trial I must overcome. The lightheadedness is fine. It is no big deal. All right. Moving on. After this confession, there will only be 10 more left. So I think it should be fine. 10 or 9-ish, I think. Anyway. Now. Let us screenshot this next one. And the next confession is as follows. Okay. One sin I bear throughout my life was knowing I've cheated my entire way through college course from 2020 to 2023, as they do online exams most of the time without requiring us to use our face cams. I initially felt guilty about it, but over time I did feel less concerned about it. Actually knowing how to drive was more fulfilling than the entire college course. While I do believe that essentially uh, achieving things through less than admirable means is not a good thing. So I do believe that is a sin. Um, I do believe that you should have. Okay, no, you did have a bit of regret at first. I understand that. You do have a bit of you did have a bit of regret at first, so you are forgiven.
Are you trying
But
to buy my
Dio,
printer?
thank you very much for the
Donation to the
$30
snack fund.
$30 donation to the snack fund. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I will ensure that the pantry is well filled with snacks. The pantry and the refrigerator is well filled with groceries, just not snacks. But thank you. I will attend to that perhaps later. Perhaps later, yes. And please don't be a doctor. Yes, as long as you're not a doctor or any other field of work that involves precision and accuracy in both knowledge, data, and practices. I hope you're okay, and at least you're learning from your current workplace. And I feel a bit bad for you after finding out that your learning how to drive was more fulfilling than a college course. But to be fair, I have felt the same. Not going to lie. Not going to lie. I honestly had one project that I was extremely proud about. It wasn't related to my course or anything, but it was related to something that I love to do, and I worked together on a team with people. We won a certificate, and that I hold that in higher regard than my last diploma. Than my last diploma. Yes. Yeah. Anyway. Also, Remy Chroma, thank you very, very kindly for the 7th-month membership flex, I believe it is called. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's okay as long as he's a language major. Language is always changing, so it should be fine, right? So long as they don't pursue a career that will involve human life and well-being. Yeah. Just, again, make sure you're carrying yourself well in your life now. All right. Thank you very much for your confession. Let us move on to the next one. All right. This next confession, I have screenshotted it. It is as follows. Forgive me, Commander, for I have sinned. I used only tank treads, bazookas, and stun needle launchers to clear the entirety of AC6 because I'm too lazy to learn to be a good pilot. I allowed the holy pile bunker to collect dust and never used it once. That is very disappointing, my child. I don't know what to say, honestly. This is the sin of sloth. And all I can tell you is that you must not allow it to consume you. I beseech thee, please take up the holy pile bunker and learn its ways and train yourself. Get yourself out of the gutter. Get yourself out of the gutter of sloth and learn what it is to be great and face the trials and tribulations of what we call skill issue. Because only by facing the skill issue will we learn to have skill. Understood? Now, this is my task for you to repent. And please, I hope you do find it within your heart to undertake my request. All right? And with that, you are forgiven, but you must repent. All right? Thank you very much for your confession. Now, let us move on to the next one. Where is it? Let me screenshot this. This next confession is as follows. Oops, I accidentally included the top text. My bad. Don't mind this. There we go. I come bearing the weight of years drenched in sin. I have a problem. An addiction to the epic RPG from Larian Studios' Baldur's Gate 3. I legit spent more time on that game than dealing with IRL problems, and I still haven't romanced Astarion. I need help, sister. help with the IRL problems or help with the romancing Astarion. Unfortunately, as I am a woman of the cloth, I don't think Astarion and I will get along very well. But he does seem like a very nice individual for some. So, from what I can tell, from what I've seen and heard of him, apparently being a jerk is a good thing. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't seen much of Baldur's Gate 3. I will be honest. And let's see. As for IRL problems, if I may recommend a solution for that, if you would like to limit the time you spend on it, set timers on your phone. It may become annoying at a certain point, but if you set timers on your phone and incentivize yourself to stop playing and deal with other things, perhaps you might get into the mood to deal with your IRL problems. Yes. This one wants the suck. Oh, yes, the suck. Yes, the suck. From what I remember, there was a workshop that I had watched. A video of a workshop that I watched. Something about women love the suckies. Yes, women love the suckies. Yes. Perhaps Astarion is a man of the suckies. And I can understand why many people enjoy his character, yes. Suckies, reaching suckies. The term suckies. Are you not familiar with this term? I believe it is spelled in this manner. Suckies. Yes? That is how suckies. That is what everyone aspires to achieve. Is that not right? Alright. Now, I do believe that attaining suckies is a very good goal for any person. So, do what you can to get and give out and share your suckies with other people. Yes? Alright. Now, thank you very much again for your confession. I do hope that my advice was helpful, but you are forgiven for your sin. From what I know, it's a very good game, so I don't hold it against you. Yes? All right. Now, let us move on to the next confession. Let's see. It is this one. This one's rather long, so let me screenshot this if I can screenshot it. Okay, I got it. Now let me paste that. The next confession is as follows. Sister Shinryu, I ask that you forgive me of this sin. I am a bit of a dungeoneer. I love to explore dungeons. This time I was accompanied by a group of friends. Now, Miss Shinryu, I am the flexible explorer. I can be the one up in the enemy's face, provoking them to fight. I can be in the back using spells. I can be sneaky like Comrade the Fox. Well, this time one of my good friends insisted on them being the one on the front line, so I let them. Now, for starters, we were in a different dungeon. This dungeon was in a land known as the Holy See. There were enemies of various wild shapes and sizes. Some appeared to even be pieces from a board game. While this struck my party and myself as odd, we explored further and further through the area. Boss mobs were not an issue for us, and we made our way to the end of this new area. What was most off about this entire excursion was after we defeated the dungeon, each boss gave off the impression that it was part of something more. We tried our best to gain further insight of this excursion when suddenly a javelin of what appeared to be pure light came soaring at us from high above. My friend leapt into his path to take on this appearing tank buster. This is where all the trouble happened. The spear shattered his shield and pierced his stature like he was made of paper. As he lay before me dying, I only find myself asking, why did you not use any mitigation? Why did you not use hallowed ground? Why was the healer not healing you? To this day, I still have a bit of difficulty remembering his name as I think back over the entire situation. I believe his name was Horse Farts or something along those lines. Please forgive me, Sister Shinryu. Oh no, oh dear. I am familiar with those of the Holy See and the land that they call Ishgard. We have communicated with them. In fact, we were very much at odds with the Holy See for the longest time, given the fact that, well, our church is under the leadership of a wise worm, whereas the Holy See had condemned worms for the longest time until some war had stopped. But I believe I'm familiar with this knight that you speak of. Yes, horse farts. He was a very, very diligent warrior and such a kind soul. He carried an air of grandeur around him, but he always made sure that those he worked with and those under him were happy and safe, and their morale was high. Horse Farts truly was a hero, and I believe he had said many a few times, many a time, but he had said many a time, a smile better suits a hero. Yes. Now, I do not fault you for not being able to save him, and for the other members of your Explorer party for not being able to save him. It was sudden, and I do believe you did what you could, right? And although we cannot change the past, and I understand that the weight of his loss bears heavy on you, please remember that he would be the kind of person who would want you to press on. He would want you to face on the next day with a smile on your face. And he believed you to be every much inch a hero that he was, even though he himself never recognized himself as one, yes? Do not despair. You are not without allies, yes. And I do believe throughout our daily lives, we will come to find more allies in our lives, and we should do well by them as well. Now, if you do ever feel like that you are too guilty and should not be forgiven of this, I understand that it pains you greatly, but I believe everyone is worthy of being forgiven. Yes? And what matters is what you continue to do. And I do believe that pursuing the greater good is no sin at all. And you are forgiven for not having been able to save him. It simply was the situation, yes? And we must simply do our best to remember those who came before us and, honor their memory. Yeah. Because even if they are not here to see the beautiful day that has been bestowed upon us, we should be able to bestow the beautiful memories with those that we come to meet. Yes? Yes. Okay. Thank you very much for your confession. In my eyes, you are forgiven. Just continue to fight the good fight, okay? All right? Yes. For those we have lost and those we can yet save. Yes. Those are the lines of very esteemed individuals that I've heard about. All right. Let's move on to the next confession. I will screenshot this as well. All right. Let me turn this off. Paste the next one, multiply. All right. Our next confession is as follows. I get really competitive when gaming. Above all else, I seek efficiency. This leads me off to often wanting to backseat whenever I see friends and streamers struggling, even if they are just playing casually and having fun. In Final Fantasy XIV, the group I raid with has varying skill levels. This leads me to getting genuinely angry whenever we get stuck in a fight, usually because they don't learn as fast as me. And even though I'm raiding with friends, I am not enjoying myself, during the raid at least. I just wish my friends would get good, as they say. While I understand your frustrations, I do think we can't exactly hold it against your peers for not being of the exact same skill level or mindset as you are. I understand your frustration, but I do hope that you don't push them too much. You can point them in an encouraging direction, certainly. But how do you say? I do believe it would only sow more discord if you were to express your frustrations in a frustrated manner, since you are a bit upset about the situation. And if ever, I think it's very important to have a talk with your friend group regarding this. Because I have met many people who also desire efficiency and effectiveness in gaming, and often, not exactly look down upon, but are rather harsh on those who don't perform as well. I do think it's very important to have a talk with them regarding like what kind of performance you expect from them, what you want out of being able to do this. Like, are you doing this to say that you did good in the fight? Or are you doing this just to complete the fight? Or are you there to share a victory together with your friends? I think it's important to figure out what it is exactly that you want to achieve out of these. If it's the former, and your friends don't exactly share the same sentiments, it is possible to look into the party finder, I think, personally. And there are people with the same mindsets, and those who want to basically fight as efficiently and as well as possible, best in slot, using the potions of like mind / intelligence / dexterity / strength, whatever, the double weaving and all that and everything, memorizing their rotations by heart, 100% uptime, yes. And people doing their jobs. There are groups of people who do aspire to do that, and I think you will have a much better time raiding with those people than with your friend group. Not to say that you dislike your friends, right? People can have differing opinions and differing ways that they approach things, and that's normal. And I do believe that your friends should be understanding of your situation, and I guess you should also be understanding of their situation as well, so that everyone can, still be friends, but still enjoy the way they play in their own way. Yes. Let's see. I hope that was a bit helpful. You are, I'm not sure exactly if you feel guilty about this. If you are, you can seek forgiveness by, figuring it out what it is exactly that you want to do, so that you achieve what's best for you and the people you care about. Yes. Thank you very much again for your confession. I very much appreciate it. Now, let's go over to the next confession. Oh dear, what time is it? Okay, we're on schedule. Now this next one, I'll be screenshotting it now. And where is the software? Paste. This next confession is as follows. Sister Shinryu, I've come here with a troubled mind. My burden is that every time I open a new loaf of bread, I can't help but look at its sides and be saddened. I don't like to eat the crust. They taste too bready to me, but I feel bad if I just throw them into the trash. What can I do with them to eat them? Do I take it like a man? Can I see them pearly white gates after this? Ooh. Well, you are forgiven. These are human feelings indeed. But if you're looking for a more productive way to go about using the crust, first and foremost, don't feed them to ducks. Ducks cannot digest. Most animals actually do not digest carbohydrates very well. One thing you can use it for: cut out the crust, mince it up a bit, bake it, and turn it into breadcrumbs or croutons. And then you can put it on salads or use it for, breading. Aside from that, you could also use it to make bread pudding, I think. Like, mixing up with milk. I forget how it works exactly, but yeah. I admire that you wish to be resourceful and not wasteful. I think that is a good thing. Garlic or hot sauce recommend. You could also do that too, adding extra condiments in order to make it more tasty. Yes. Grilled cheese, take it or leave it. I know of some people who still don't like the crust, even if it is in a grilled cheese sandwich, unfortunately. What's something else you could do? You could collect many different crusts, gather them all together, compress them into a very, very hard item, and then forge it into a weapon. That is another possibility. Like a giant bat, perhaps. I do believe that it should harden enough to be a formidable, a formidable arm. Yes, yes. As long as it's unseasoned, yeah, you could make bread pudding. Yes, that's true. Like a bread crust brick, something like that. Yes, you could turn it into a bread crust brick if you'd like. Hang it on the wall, make it into a conversation topic. Ah, yes, another creative pursuit. Yes, bread pudding is delicious. I believe I've tried to make it, but I don't think I've ever successfully made bread pudding before. Just throw the crust with your packed brown sugar to keep it from hardening. Ah, that is true. I have heard people using bread crust to keep moisture in certain household items. Yeah, yeah. Again, you are forgiven for your dislike of breadcrumbs, but don't worry, there are many things you can still do about it, right? All right, thank you very much for coming forward with your confession. Let us proceed to the next one. Let's see. This next confession is as follows. Ahem. I like my steaks well done. I prefer its rough texture and taste. How dare you come into the walls of this very church of the wise worm? How dare you come here and say that you will want a well-done steak? Do you understand? Do you understand what you are saying? There is no greater punishment for you than the last circle of worm hell. Okay, where you will be also turned into a well-done steak and be fed to those who like it, but you will regenerate each time and you will feel every inch of it. The last circle of worm hell to you heathen, sacrilegious heathen. How dare you? This is completely unwise. You fiend, you absolute fiend. You disgust me. You absolutely disgust me. I apologize. No, this is not the place to be judgmental about such things. Again, everyone is to each their own, entitled to their opinions, even if they're not exactly based in true. But again, everyone is entitled to their own opinions. So I won't forgive you. But you may proceed about your day. Just remember that you are not forgiven, okay? All right. Thank you very much for your confession. Unfortunately, I'm sad to know that there are such sinners in this world, such as you. But it's all right. It's okay. It takes a whole bunch of different people, different folks, different strokes, as they say. Anyway, let's see. Let me screenshot this next confession. All right. Now, our next confession is as follows. Dear sister, I fear my confession is much too tame to be called one, but I must still confess that what is weighing down on me. The sin of sloth is much too strong. I feel that in some moments I conquer it and am able to be more proactive than usual. But other times, I can't bring myself to do something that I consider troublesome. They range from getting up to do exercises to avoid doing certain tasks at work, and even avoiding playing video games when I have time to spare. Please help me cleanse myself of this sin once and for all. I know it's a long, drawn-out process, so even small advice will help, if I'm being honest. I just want to stop being lazy when it comes to certain aspects of my life. I see. You come seeking guidance. There are several things that you can do. Of course, again, your mileage may vary. These may or may not be effective for you, but it's worth a shot. First is breaking up your tasks into smaller and easier to digest things to do. For example, if it's a chore, this is a classic example. If it's a chore, if you have dishes you need to do, take them bit by bit. Like maybe start with the small things first. And don't feel bad about leaving other dishes in the sink. You will come back to them later. Just tell yourself that. Alternatively, you can also say something like, doing the dishes is only going to take me like, what, 5 minutes or less? It depends really, but like usually they tend to take 5 minutes or less, especially if it's just a few things. That can also trick you into starting, because honestly, starting is the hardest part. Yes. And let's see. As for doing certain tasks at work, of course it depends on what kind of work this is. Again, you can trick yourself into starting and just saying like, oh, just a little thing, I'll do it now. Alternatively, you can just tell yourself, I know I don't feel like doing it, but I'll do it anyway. Just literally powerhousing through it, which honestly sometimes does feel kind of bad. But sometimes it is necessary. And like once you get through it, maybe in the end you might feel better. Honestly, I have received similar advice from the fellow sisters here in the Sisterhood of the Wise Worm, but I found myself in some situations where I'm too tired to, for example, spend time with people. Sometimes you just have to do it. And then I did kind of just rope myself into doing it. I did it. I hung out with the people I wanted to hang out with. And then I realized, hey, wait a minute. You know, this wasn't so bad. I enjoyed that. I'm glad I did it. Sometimes you might be thinking, I'm too tired to do this. I don't want to do this. Maybe I won't feel good. You might just feel better. There's always a possibility that you might feel better afterwards, right? Yes. And if it's a matter of motivation, I am here cheering you on. I believe in you. I think you can do the thing. And even if you don't get it to it right away or all of it right away, what matters is that you're taking the steps to do it. And I'm proud of you for doing that. And I'll even be more proud of you the more steps you take. So you've got this, right? You got this. Sister believes in you. And the entirety of the Wise Worm Sisterhood believes in you. You got this. All right. I hope that was helpful. You are forgiven for your sin of sloth. I just hope that we were able to cheer you on and give you some avenues that you can explore. This is your road to Suckies, right? Just remember this. The road to Suckies is a long, hard, and an arduous one, but eventually, when you get through that long and hard path, you will attain that Suckies with your hard work. Sometimes you just gotta swallow it down, right? You just gotta swallow down, and it's a bit hard, and it's like sometimes it may leave a bitter aftertaste in your mouth, but it's okay. Once you do all these things, you will achieve Suckies. You can do it. Anyway, thank you very much for your confession. We are on to our last two confessions now. So let me screenshot this one and let us read it aloud. The confession reads as follows. Forgive me, Sister Skye, for I have sinned. I have committed the greatest sin against my Asian kin. I have eaten raw instant ramen. To my defense, it was good. Excuse me. Now, I personally do not see this as a sin whatsoever. In fact, I do know that there are some people who do eat raw instant ramen. Apologies, I was reading the text. Uncooked ramen noodles. So the packaging, it's delicious, my friends. Sorry, I did not mean to say you're eating raw Asians. I do not eat people. Anyway, instant ramen, sometimes the noodles are just pliable enough to eat as is uncooked. And like the shin ramen things, they are quite tasty when you like break them up and then you chew on it's crunchy. It's like a snack. It's actually quite good. And let's see. I guess there are some snacks that also include a powder that you can mix with, like you can crunch it up and then like you shake the package together and then you have like a flavor coated noodle snack. It is quite delicious. I see no sin here. In fact, I believe more people should partake in this. It's a bit salty though. That is true. Noodle Crunch, yes, Noodle Crunch. That is quite a delicious snack. Unfortunately, though, it's quite hard to find. I am not going to lie. I sometimes wish I could find more snacks like that, and I kind of want to try other cup noodle things, but to see if they have the same consistency. But so far, I think only Korean instant ramen has that. The local ones here are a bit too hard for that. Anyway, you, my child, are sinless, and in fact, I beseech thee, spread the good word of raw instant ramen, okay? More people need to eat it. It's delicious. All right, thank you very much. Now we are on to our last confession. Let's see. Our last confession is as follows. Dearest Sister Shinyu, I come begging, pleading, crying, pooping my pants in consternation before thee, with the most heinous of crimes. It is the sin of being mean to anime women online. Sometimes it comes with the territory, and others it just accidentally happens. Sometimes it happens because I need to sup deeply upon the tears of another human, yet mostly it is on pure blind accident. Please give me the cruelest, vilest set of punishments that make even Sisyphus look like a little baby pushing a pebble up a tiny incline. Really drive the hot poker to my heart home. What a heinous crime. Being mean to people is... I can't believe this person. You would know... Okay, in your defense, yes, you did state that sometimes you do it unknowingly. But there are other times that you do it knowingly as well. I at least applaud you for being honest with yourself and acknowledging your crimes. But yes, a proper punishment is in order, especially if it comes out by accident. Perhaps it's within your nature. And that is not the type of nature that we need to nurture. You need a bit of correction, yes? Now, for a proper punishment, you're being mean to anime women online. I believe the proper punishment for you is dedicating your wallet to them. Dedicating your wallet to them, yes. And giving them as much support as you possibly can. And being very kind and supportive and sharing everything and doing everything that you can to their bidding, right? I believe that is a good punishment. That will leave you with almost nothing for yourself. Yeah. I believe that will leave you with almost nothing. And then perhaps then you will learn to be a bit kinder after going through all that strife and suffering. Yes, I do believe strife and suffering is necessary. But it does seem that you are a bit regretful at the end since you asked me to drive the hot poker into your heart home. You are forgiven. You are forgiven, my child. But just keep in mind, right, what I request for you to do. Do their every bidding. So donate all of our money to the Sister Shinyu and the Church of the Worm. No, it doesn't necessarily have to be me. It's whichever anime woman online that you decide to support, right? And that you may have accidentally bullied. I believe that is a good punishment. Unless perhaps you have other ideas, churchgoers, perhaps. Still not as heinous as a well-done steak. No, not as heinous as a well-done steak. That's far worse, right? Again, this is the Church of a Worm. Are you forgetting? The worm likes their steak raw, almost raw. Anyway, accidentally, yeah, sure. Well, I do believe that by continuing to support them, you will be able to help these anime women reach suckies as well. And they will be able to share these suckies with you guys as well too. So, yes, just be good to them, all right? Just be good to them. All right. Instructions unclear. Burn the wallet in a sacrificial pyre. You know what? I think that works for some. Yes, sharing the suckies.
trying to buy my
Reva X, thank you very much for the $5
Thank you,
tip.
Sister Skye, for forgiving our sins.
And thank you all very much for coming forward with them. I appreciate that you all decided to talk this through with me and share it. It is what is weighing on your mind and on your heart and soul. I do hope that you will be able to find salvation, whether you are still roaming the earth with your own repentance, or if you are repenting in the depths of the many circles of worm hell. I hope that you continue to strive to be better and wiser people. Yes. Now, I appreciate you all coming here today. And now with all of these submissions done, we are all free to have an open discussion. You are free to ask any questions in the chat. But I will also be going over a few things that Skye has asked me to go over for the end of this stream. Now, first and foremost, Skye's schedule will be released on the weekend, as per usual. And any news and updates will be found on the Twitter and on the YouTube channel. Yes. And then, let's see. Skye has also stated that there is a chance she may shift over from Dead Space 2008 to the Dead Space remake because it seems to make her a little less nauseous. So please do expect that change. Let's see. Suckies can be achieved with long determination and hard work despite all the circumstances. Yes. Premiere in 20 minutes. Oh yes, I should bring you guys there soon. I was very late after lunch. What was said during the confession about the cheating college bit? I saw that for a bit. They felt a sense of satisfaction more from learning how to drive than the entire college course that they took, so they don't feel as bad about it. But we were just worried if they work in a field that deals with human lives, because cheating through that type of field is not very good. Anyway, yes, the premiere. So for the premiere, it is a cover of Murasaki Shion from Hololive, a cover of her original song Mage of Violet. It is Skye's cover. She had drawn the illustration, made the music video, sung the cover, and mixed it all together herself. The credits for original vocals and for the music go to the original creators such as Suri-san and Kairiki Bear and Murasaki Shion. But yes, for those of you wondering who Shion is, she is a talent under Hololive, a JP talent. I forget which generation exactly, but she is a more petite witch, yes. And then, let's see. You may have seen her around. She has like silvery hair, silvery purplish hair. I'm not entirely sure. Has yellow eyes, I believe. A cute little witch hat, and then like a little like star decoration on stars, magic circle of decoration on her hair bun on one side. Something like that. Gen 2. Thank you very much for the clarification. Yeah, she's from Gen 2. Are there any other clarifications? Again, I would like to repeat. There were a handful of submissions that were a bit...
I barely knew
Thank
her.
you, Femtanga, for joining memberships. Welcome to the, I believe you are the Silver Ravens, yes? Welcome. How do you say? What was I talking about? Yes, there were some submissions that were a bit too heavy for the confession stream. And it is not that I am condemning you. It is simply that I do not think I am qualified enough to give my thoughts on it. But do know that I did read the ones that were brought up to me, the particular ones. I did read them, and my heart does go out to you, okay? My heart really does. And although I do not want to give any particular favoritism by like personally responding to you in private, I apologize. That is out of the breadth of my scope. I do care for you, okay? All right. How bleak are these stories? Rather bleak. I do not want to divulge any specifics. They are quite bleak. And I am definitely here for you, and I will be thinking about you. Let's see. Does Sister Shinryu feel like she needs to confess anything to us? Confessions? Me? I don't think I have anything to confess. Hope the homies can recover from the stuff they can't talk about. And I am glad that they decided to come to me about it and, had the courage to bring it up. And I really, really appreciate that. Thank you. I'm proud of you for doing so. Let's see. Sister, how goes Skye's endeavors in practicing guitar? I do believe she's doing all right. She's getting used to some chords from what I've heard. Sometimes I bring her in to perform songs for us to sing praises for the Great Worm. She's still learning, a bit clumsy here and there. Some chords are a bit difficult, especially bar chords, but she's doing all right, yes. Let's see. What is this Vaporeon edit you speak of? I have never participated in a Vaporeon edit. If this is something the commander has said, it might be something that you may need to bring up with her in that case. I don't know, sister. You seem to be acting up when that one confession is brought to light. Well, can't the woman have a few secrets or two? Just a few, right? I think I'm entitled to a few. Anyway, are you okay after that one confession about the robot? I'm alright. I'm just worried for humanity. That's why I was sweating and getting all nervous. I was just worried about the safety of humanity. Yes, so, that's all. Alright. What do we have here? Perhaps we should get ready to raid into the thing. Or maybe I should just wait until we're almost done. Perhaps we can just kill time and just chit-chat, if you will. Exted out? What do you mean, exted out? You and the commander sound alike and you look just like her. Well, perhaps that might be because of the Shinjuverse thing going on. Have to protect them from the crazy person wanting to be a robot. Yes. Yes. It would serve no good if that person were to run rampant. We must simply take care of that person, make sure that they don't cause any harm. In fact, I think that isolating them here at the Church of the Wise Worm would be the best course of action. We are very isolated from the rest of society, so I think it would be a good idea to bring them here and make sure that they can never get out. We can keep them in our confines. Keep them in confines and keep the rest of humanity safe. Yes. And for the person who would commit such atrocity to the rest of humanity, squashing them underneath their heel, blowing them up with massive artillery, that will never come to light. That will never come to light. Yes. Yes. Eternal prison. Oh, it's not a prison. They'll just be kept here. They will be treated decently, given that as long as they don't, harm us, right? Yes, lockdown. Yes, locking them down right here in the cathedral with me. Anyway, moving on. Do you have any questions or concerns for me? Anything you would like for me to pass on to Skye? I will pass on the snack fun thing. Apologies. It has been a rather long reading for me today. And the music is quite calming. No, that's not what we meant. Oh, what did you mean then? 7 billion people in one small cathedral? Not 7 billion people, just one very big robot. Oh, excuse me. I don't know, sister. Seems like they have their well-being in danger if they stay there. No. I personally will make sure to take very good care of them. Don't worry. It'll be absolutely fine. Right? As you can see, I care about many people a lot. And many things as well. So I'm sure that they will be in good hands. Very, very good hands. Sorry. But yes, I will make sure that their needs are met, even if they are a giant robot. Anyway. I expect to see art of this taken care of at some point. Well, I myself am not exactly an artist. But I know that Skye is. Well, who knows? This situation may never even come to light. We'll see. But anyway. Okay. Oh dear. It is already almost 12:50, I believe. So we've got about 10 more minutes. How much more time do we have to kill? What else should we talk about? This was very enjoyable. I very much enjoyed getting to communicate with all of you and reading your woes and worries. I feel like I get to know a bit more about how the general PMC thinks. And it's very interesting, yes. And by the way, for those of you who haven't gotten there yet, you can also open up the stream already. Leave a like if you want. Sorry, not the stream, the video. But if you haven't yet already, let's support Skye's channel, shall we? If you haven't yet already, please do leave a like and a comment down below. Perhaps discuss how cleansed you felt after this stream. Yes, how cleansed you felt and how eager you are to get the suckies. I hope that my words of wisdom will help you achieve the suckies that you so desire. And with your suckies, I will be able to achieve suckies as well. Yes. Let's see. Is there anything else? Oh, do any of you happen to have a peen on hand? Do any of you happen to have a peen on hand? I have a brush, but I don't have a peen on hand. There are some things that I would like to write down for everybody. Oh, you do? Yes, a peen. It's these, right? Here, I believe. Yeah, hang on, let me get my brush. This is a peen, right? Yes, I do believe that this is a peen. I need a peen in order to jot down some things on finer paper because this brush tends to be a bit too big. Yes, a peen. I need the peen. I need the peen in order to write down my plan for suckies. Okay. It is a very, very long plan for suckies, and that is why the peen is key to suckies. The peen is key, right? Okay. So that once I write this down on paper, I will be able to share it with you guys. Because if you can't share your peen with me, I won't be able to write. I won't be able to write down the plan. Yeah. Anyway, can you use your peen with suckies? I mean, they do say that the peen is greater than the sword. So, the peen is greater than the sword. So I do believe that in great hands, the peen can achieve, can come to great heights and achieve very great suckies. Yes. Take your pick. Oh, that is a lot of peens. That is a lot of different peens. Let's see. I will take the blue peen. Yeah, I think the blue peen is my favorite. Yeah. Okay, so with the blue peen, so our plan for suckies, yes, give me a second. So our plan for suckies is that, one, you have to be kind to one another, right? And you always, okay, with being kind, you always have to come to people's aid. You have to come to aid. You have to come to help people, right? By being kind and coming to their aid, you will be able to share. You will be able to share in the suckies. Yes. Now, what do you mean, ew cursive? Is my cursive writing not good enough? 1 second. Let me fix that for you then. Hang on. There you go. There, is that better? I was trying to go faster with the peen, okay? Look, I know my peen handwriting isn't very good, but I'm trying my best here, okay? All right. Aside from being kind, you have to be hard working. Wait, hang on. forgot my cursive. Hard working. Sometimes things will get rough, you know. But when times get tough, the tough get going, and sometimes you gotta be a little rough with it, right? And that's where hard work comes through. Again, sometimes even coming to aid people it presents you with very rough situations, and you have to handle it. You gotta manhandle it, and that's another step to suckies, right? Okay, now, can any of you tell me what the last step to suckies is? Can you tell me, my children, what is the last step to suckies before I must send us all off to the cover video? Now, I would like to believe that you all have your own plans for suckies, and I want to see if you all share in the same ideas for this. Yes. Very various responses. Let's see. Finish what you started. Yes. If you start something, you have to finish it. Now, sometimes... Hang on, give me a second. Do I even remember how to write an F? I don't even think that's how you write an F. Oh my god, I don't remember how to write an F in cursive anymore. Finish what you started. Now, sometimes when you finish something, it may not be as grand or great or as big of a finish as you'd hoped it to have been. And that's okay. What matters? Actually, sometimes not even finishing. Sometimes not even finishing is the end goal. It's the journey that it took to get there. How do you write cursive J? Yes. All right. It is the journey. Sometimes it's not even about finishing. Sometimes you may not be able to finish something, be it because of a situation, or perhaps you got interrupted, or perhaps you can't just you can't bear to keep beating at the situation and you grow tired of it. Sometimes it just happens, yes. So what matters is that you put in the hard work, effort, and sweat into what it is that you did to achieve the suckies, right? So sometimes even the suckies is the journey we had along the way. Sometimes it's just that. And I think it's a good thing to find solace in this. Yes. Now, I do believe that it is about time to wrap up this stream. And I hope that the plan for suckies that I wrote with this beautiful blue peen that you guys gave me helps you achieve your goals, achieve suckies. Yes. Thank you, my children, for being here today. Now, let me redirect all of you to the cover video. Where is it? Let's see. Redirect. Here it is, a video from this channel. Now let us save that. And as this will be a redirect, there will be no ending screen as Skye normally likes to add. But I do hope to see you all there in the chat room. I believe Skye will be representing me though. So do enjoy the stream with your commander, everybody. All right? And I do not know if we ever will cross paths again, but I will always be praying for your health, safety, and great suckies. Until we meet again, my friends, my children, this has been Sister Shinryu. Until we meet again, goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.